This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Humanity, look how far you've fallen. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
It's Mexican IronMan.
Good morning and welcome to Loki's Mornings of Mischief. And by the way, I reheard the tape. I think I said mistress by accident yesterday or the day before. But good morning to Loki's Mornings of Mischief. I am Mexican IronMan, also known as Southern Mexican Gentile IronMan. Here again on joining you for the morning show. And today is Women of Fandom Wednesdays. Yes, Women of Fandom Wednesdays. And we have the lovely, the great, the amazing Purple Valkyrie. Be still, my tortilla heart.
Good morning, puppy.
Good morning. Oh. And Mexican Iron Man's armor melts off his body already in 9 a.m. in the morning. Oh, yes, it does. Well, let's welcome everybody in the chat. Let's, can you help me out with this? Let's go. Here we go. I'd like to welcome Gun Bunny. Who else we got Purple Valkyrie this morning?
Absolutely. Good morning, Valhalla. We have got Arwen Avalon. We have got DJ Ronnie G. Good morning, Lord Fuff. Good to see you as always. We have got the Bash Brothers, Chris Persia and Mark the Infinitely Tired. Good morning, gentlemen. We've got Dave Bob. Good morning, sir. Who else have we got? Let's see. Keely Chair, Roll Tide Keely. Wendy Vega. Good morning, lovely. Good to see you. Valiant Renegade. Hello, love. Good to see you. I'm really, really glad that you're doing okay and your family as well. We were worried about you. Who else have we got, Mexican Iron Man?
Let's see. We got Arwen. We got Chris Persia, the wrench of all wrenches. Let's see. Who else we got? Did we get everybody? Lord Thoth? Did you get Lord Thoth?
Yep. Adaga Outlaw. Good morning, Adaga. Good to see you. Let's see, we've got Dead Man Walking. Good to see you as well. Good morning.
Daryl the Derelict, get away from the virtual taco bar. You must get in line like everybody else. Daryl, I see you coming around the side. No, you cannot act like you're an employee, Daryl. I see you.
We've got Psychodwarf 9. I can't do it as well as Loki does. Sorry.
Psychodwarf 9.
That was good.
I bet.
We've got Mr. Stephen Glenn. Good morning, sir. Good to see you. And Kendra L. Hello, lovely. Good to see you. And the Star Wars guys. Good morning.
Oh my God, the Star Wars guys! Are you aware that that Paul, the Jedi Master, challenged me to a lightsaber duel?
I did. I am very, very curious as to see what happens.
Well, Purple, the odds makers in Vegas. Let's just say that the odds makers in Vegas currently give my shots at winning this thing at something like, I think it's currently up to 8.3 billion light years to 1.
So
Like-
you still there's a chance, is what you're saying?
Yeah, but I mean, last week it was like 7.2 billion light years. I mean, well, first of all, we're in light years. I mean, I don't even know if the planet will be. I don't even know. Dave Bob, stop with that. I see that Darth Poopy emoji, Dave Bob. I see you in the back. I saw that. And my brother Dave Bob and stuff like that. Who else we got? I think that's everybody. I think we covered everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. And of course, I got my my dashboard up. I was practicing with the skull button some more, Purple. So anybody, if you want to throw any super chats to the boss Loki, I have the skulls ready. If there's a particular skull you want with your super chat, let me know. And Mexican Iron Man is on the dashboard. Yep. I practiced in everything. I put little stickers, on each one, like little tape, like little post-its, with arrows here on the dashboard, Purple, so I don't get it wrong.
There's a lot of skulls.
Dude, there's a lot of skulls back here. It's crazy. Well, it is Women of Fandom. And before we get started with the articles that we have today, how are you doing? How have you been doing on your channel? And how, what's going on? And how is life in the UK? Let's just, just broadly. Let's have our cup of coffee. Let's have our tea and scones as we get started with the morning. Do you like that? You
I
like how
that. That's very civilized. That's good. I can see where this whole genteel Southern gentleman is coming in.
Yeah, I'll just you like how I threw out the whole tea and scones.
Tea and scones.
Hi tea and scones. All right, so talk to us. How's the channel? How's your channel been going? How's life? How's fandom? How's life in the UK? Talk to us.
It's going well, yeah. Channel is doing very well. Very, very lucky to have everybody's support. It's always an absolute pleasure to get to do a show and to have such a fantastic chat and to get to talk to people. That's the main reason that I do the show. It's not about anything else. It's just the whole idea that I get to chat to people and we get to make these fantastic connections, which we have done. And I know it's been said before, we're not a community anymore. We're a family. We're a fellowship, and I'm definitely feeling it now. I think we're closer than ever after what we've gone through these past 18 months.
Isn't it's to me it's interesting that there's been some meetups. Ryan, my buddy Ryan RK, is on a cross country mini meetup tour, and then there was a big meetups before. But even if there haven't been meetups, we've made so many amazing friendships, right?
Mm-hmm. We absolutely have, yeah. We've met so many amazing people, and we're still meeting amazing people, and those amazing people are now making their own channels. So it's so good.
Speaking of making their own channels, we have Valiant Renegade, who I just met now it's 8 months ago. I met him back in January, and I told him, I said, you're going to get monetized about 6 months, give or take, and it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
He's currently on the gas hunt. He says tacos and scones. No, Valiant Renegade, it is tea and scones. Tea and scones. Can you tell I've been listening to a lot of Mr. H reviews? Yes. Now, why is his accent so much different than Az's from a UK standpoint? How can they sound so different?
That's just how the UK is. You can go 5 miles and have a completely different accent from one area to the other. Even where I am, you can go from one side of the city to the other, and it will be completely different.
But Purple, I don't want to go anywhere outside your city. I just want to stay right where you are. Oh, sorry, forgot. I'm running the show this morning. Oh my goodness, look at that. From the Star Wars guys for $4.99. Last night on the VacTube chat, I said that after we fought Mexican Iron Man, win or lose, I would try a spaghetti taco. Ugh.
Is that a thing? I've never heard of that.
Well, here's the problem. Here's how it got started. The way the dueling got started was that he was saying that spaghetti is better than any kind of tacos. Like if you were to rank food, like if you were on a desert island, basically Paul is saying, hey, spaghetti is the best food on the planet, and that's like number one.
Okay.
And And basically, I kind of felt, Purple, you know how I can get a bit emotional, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was not
defending culture. Yeah.
I was not feeling the diversity and representation of tacos.
So you're saying this was a Mexican versus Italian food fight?
Exactly. And so what started off as like, is Italian food better than tacos, turned into somehow, well, here's another thing. You know how I can be a bit overconfident and a bit cocky sometimes and a little bit of a shit talker?
Just a little bit, maybe.
Purple, right there is where you say, no, Mexican Iron Man, you've always been the most humble person I've ever known.
Okay, let me retract that. No, Mexican Iron Man, you've always been the most humble and unassuming person I've ever met.
I love it when you lie to me. It feels. I know it's so wrong, but it feels so good. And in honor of the Star Wars Guys $4.99 super chat, we're going to get the skull started off right this morning with one of my favorite, and I hope it's all of yours. Here we go.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Can't beat a little 300 in the morning.
No. Well, let's get right into it here. Let's go into today's first topic here. Let me bring it up on the screen and share the screen here. We got a few things to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, with the lady of ladies of the fandom.
Yes, we do.
We're going to talk about some breaking news, right?
Indeed. But just before we do, I think we've got one more super chat that you might want to grab, Mike.
Oh, okay. Let me go check. See what you got. See what we got over here. Let me go look what we have over here. Mark the Infinitely Tired for $1.99 says, "No, do I have to read it? Yeah, I'm hosting the show." Mark the Infinitely Tired for $1.99 super chat says, "Trend hashtag Darth Poopy." Trend hashtag Darth Poopy. And for Mark the Infinitely Tired, who is the originator of the Darth Poopy. You know what? I think I'm going to trademark this. This thing's really taking off. I'm over on Midnight's Edge now, Purple, and over there I'm getting Darth Poopies. On Midnight's Edge. On Midnight's Edge after dark. I was on the show in the morning with Andre and Tom on the morning show, not even the afternoon one, and I'm getting Darth Poopies over there. This thing's out of control.
He did the Fanta skull.
Well, at least I got a sense of humor about this. All right. We've got an article here. It is in Bounding Into Comics. Oh, thank the boys over there, JB Augustine, for this particular article. Dated this morning, September 1st, hot off the press. And it says, you want to read it?
Yeah, absolutely. This kind of dropped pretty much yesterday, I think, when it first kind of hit the news. But shockingly, and I know that you're a fan of redheads, and a lot of people are, we've actually got a red-headed actress to play Poison Ivy. How cool is that?
What? Wait, we need another one of those. Miracles are happening here. Loki's Mornings of Mischief. All right, tell us more, Purple.
Absolutely. So, unfortunately, obviously, it's going to be part of CW's Batwoman, so probably only 6 people are going to watch it, as being one of them.
Well, I'm going to watch it if they have a redhead Poison Ivy in there. Wait, she's not even race swapped.
She's not, no. And the actress is, she's a quite well-known actress. I think she looks great. I'm kind of shocked that she was picked, to be honest.
She doesn't have green eyes, but she has blue eyes.
She has blue eyes, but she's very beautiful. So
she looks like you.
I wish. But
what color are your eyes again?
Bluish grey.
Oh, hold on. Slap myself. Down, Mexican Iron Man. Down. Too early in the morning to hit on Purple. Okay, I'm good. Keep going.
Okay, so they say, as it says, DC and Warner Brothers shockingly avoids a redhead race swapping by casting Bridget Regan as Poison Ivy in the CW's Batwoman. Now, this is obviously going to be for the next season, which I think people were shocked that we were going to get a next season after what happened with this season, but it's on the way. So it goes on to say, it can now be said that the Hollywood streak of race-swapping redheads has been broken, at least temporarily, as DC and Warner Brothers Television have announced they will be sticking to the crimson-coloured roots of a particularly well-known Batman villainess.
Wow.
According to Variety, actress Bridget Regan, who played Russian sleeper agent and World War II era Black Widow Dottie Underwood in Marvel's short-lived Agent Carter, will play the eco-terrorist Poison Ivy when the green-thumbed metahuman debuts in Batwoman's third season. So, very curious to see whether they actually stick to her origin or whether they're going to change it up a bit. Given that it's Batwoman, I'm thinking that they're going to go with the bisexual nature of the character. I think that's going to be pushed. But whatever, I'm just really, really happy to have a redhead actress play a redheaded character. So it goes on to say the former Pamela Isley was teased at the end of Batwoman's last season when not only her name was mentioned, but a vial of her chemicals washed up on Gotham's shore and subsequently began to sprout a few vines. Let's see what else they say. Regan plays Pamela Isley, a former botany student who's described as a passionate, brilliant scientist with a mind for changing the world for the better, Variety writes, in a character bio which most readers are very familiar with. Anybody who knows the character knows her backstory, obviously. But her plans shift when she gets injected with plant toxins that turn her into the infamous villain, the outlet continues. Describing a deed Jason Woodrow, the Floronic Man, is usually responsible for, who I doubt we're going to be seeing. I think it's going to center pretty much entirely on Poison Ivy. With a formidable power coursing through her veins, Pamela used her powers to do what she
I'll
thought
bet
was
she's got a
right.
formidable power going through her veins. I don't know. Redheads make a formidable power go through my veins, if you know what I mean.
It's been said before.
Oh, wait a minute. We got Rod Thunderheart coming in. Let me take a quick break here. Take care of Rod here. Hold on.
Yes.
Let me do it the right way. Rod Thunderheart. No, that wasn't good. I gotta do it one more time. Hold on. Me. Rod Thunderheart with a $3 super sticker, and he's gonna get a mucho macho skull that suits his body type. Yeah, Rod Thunderheart. And for those wondering at home, that actually was Rod Thunderheart in the back scenes. You just couldn't tell, but yeah, he was one of the muscular dudes right there in that movie. Yep. And Rod has aged amazingly well. Unbelievably, he hasn't really aged much in the last 20 or 30 years. Unbelievably. Oh, look, we've got someone else that's saying hi to you, Purple. We got Larry. Look at that.
Good morning, Larry. Good to see you.
He says, hail, the lovely Purple Valkyrie. Best wishes. Hi, Mexican Iron Man. Hi, Larry. How are you? Now, does Larry in the New Orleans area?
I believe so, yes. And I'm very, very happy that he's doing okay. We were worried. We were worried, obviously, about a lot of our friends who were in the path of Hurricane Ida.
All right. Good to hear that you're okay, Larry. And all of you guys have been keeping the fires burning strong in Valhalla each and every day, this morning, each and every minute, and with the lovely Purple Valkyrie.
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
It's still great. I love that.
And I want to give a shout out to Project Storytime. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Mexican IronMan Purple Valkyrie says he can't stay. It is flooding at his office. Oh my.
Oh my gosh.
It says it's flooding at his work. I didn't realize that Josh was in the greater New Orleans area, or maybe somewhere else on the East Coast where there's been some heavy rain.
Ooh,
But
safe.
stay safe, my brother. Stay safe, my brother. We love you. Love you to pieces. And yes. Back to the article now.
Okay.
Okay.
So where did we go?
Whoa, look at this photo.
It's great, isn't it?
Wait,
I love that.
We're just gonna pretend that's Mexican Iron Man. It's Halloween, and I dressed up as a cop. Yeah. And guess who? And
We'll go with that.
And I'm gonna go on the Halloween store and I'm gonna order you that outfit. Okay, sorry, keep going.
Put a pin in that. Okay. What do we get to? With formidable powers coursing through her veins, Pamela uses her powers to do what she thought was right, even if Batman and those closest to her disagree with her dangerous methods, the report adds. Now, effectively wipes off the board for years, Batwoman and the Bat Team must prepare themselves for Poison Ivy to return with a vengeance. Now, I'm not quite sure how she can return with a vengeance when she hasn't actually been introduced in this CW, but we'll go with it. It's fine.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about. Sorry, we got 2 more articles to hit, so let's go ahead and talk about this. What do you think about this article, and in particular the way it starts, where they basically talk about the redhead thing? You're a redhead yourself. How have you felt about what's going on? What do you think about this? Give us the analysis.
For me, I know it's kind of a running joke at this point, but it is kind of frustrating. You know, redheads are very, very popular. They're kind of almost not really fetishized, but you know, when you think of redheads, you think you know, kind of even more so than brunettes or blondes. It's just something about redheads that seem to get a lot of attention. But Hollywood seems to be determined to swap out all of the redhead characters, and it's not just women, it's male characters also, but it's a really odd trend, and it's one that's been going for quite a while now. I mean, you must have seen the lists that people have put together of all the characters that either been race swapped or, you know, had their hair color swapped for really no particular reason.
It's been heartbreaking. That is why I hold on dearly to you. And real quickly, Andy Masterson comes in with a $1.49 super sticker. My brother, an exciting announcement coming soon from Andy Masterson and I. We're working on a covert secret agent project that that will be announced shortly here in the next couple of weeks. But for Andy Masterson, and thank you, sir, for keeping the fires burning in Valhalla, and one of my favorite scenes from one of my favorite movies coming up for you right now.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
And so are you hopeful now? Do you think the tide's turning, or this is more of an isolated incident?
I would be inclined to think that this is more of an isolated incident. I think because this is such a famous character, and because of the way that the last season has been received, I think they need to do something big to kind of get the audience back. And Poison Ivy is a very popular character. You know, people really love her, and I think for them to have either, you know, race swapped or even changed her hair, I think they would have really, really killed the show. Even though it's probably going to end after season 3 anyway.
You think it would have been just too much, right? I
think it would have been just too much. Yeah, I think people would have. It's had such bad press. You know, people have talked about, you know, the controversy with the actors being swapped out. You know, Ruby Rose leaving, different race swaps. You know, the writing is really not great. It's got to be said. You know, the storyline isn't great. It's very, very agenda driven. I think they needed to do something to try and win back a little bit of goodwill with the fans.
Mm-hmm. Punk Waddle says Purple is trying to be more tasteful in describing the fascination with redheads, which is quite respectable, even if the rest of us are a bit more crass. Hail, Punk Waddle! Hail, sir! You understand this? The crowd goes wild. Yes. Yes, Punkwado. That is the comment of the morning. Yes.
Absolutely. And I think
Arwen,
Arwen had a
comment.
that's the one.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead. Say it.
Yep, she says, so we're something like 2% of the population in minority in ourselves, and yet they want to swap us because of diversity. Exactly, yes. If they really wanted to, push the whole idea of a minority, you would go with more redheads. Because, as she correctly points out, it's such a small sliver of the population that aren't naturally red or ginger.
Well, if you and Arwen want to get together and swap me out, you're more than welcome to. No? No? All right. So that's a little bit of a reach there. And in answer to Forbidden Ruin,
like a tag team, then.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. No, actually, no. You know what it'd probably be? It'd be like you and Arwen would be. Oh, Chance of Forbidden Ruin. Loki is out. He's not in Hurricane Zone. He's just handling some personal stuff that came up. And he's on vacation, and he let me run the dashboard. God help us all.
And Mexican IronMan is doing a brilliant job, guys. So
thank you. Let's go back to the tag team action. But you know what? if it was up to you and Arwen, it'd be like, no, you take him. I don't want him. You take him. No, you take him. Oh no, you take him. That's how you guys would fight over me. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next article. Here we go.
Absolutely.
Oh wait, hold on. That's the wrong graphic. Let's go this way here. And we have something about Shang-Chi's opening box office. Tell us more, my lady.
Yes. So, according to this, Shang-Chi, not really a surprise to a lot of people who have been tracking this, is predicted to be the worst opening weekend in Marvel's history for any of their MCU films. Now, I'm not sure what they thought was going to happen. Shang-Chi hasn't had the greatest kind of hype around it. We've had controversy with the actors, talking about how this is the greatest Asian cast film ever, as if there weren't any before this happened. It's kind of odd. And this is coming straight off the back, obviously, of Black Widow as well, which itself did not do well at the box office, no matter which way they try and spin it.
Okay. Well, let's see. Why don't we read at least a couple paragraphs of this before we move on to our third article of the day?
Absolutely. So the article says Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings box office worldwide is predicted to have the worst opening weekend in the history of the MCU. The film starring Simu Liu and I can never pronounce that person's name.
Aquafina.
Aquafina.
Like the bottled water. Aquafina.
Is one of the most anticipated Marvel flicks. See, I don't think it is. I just don't think there is any interest for it. I think it's a character that they picked that just really doesn't mean anything to a lot of people. Most people really didn't read Shang-Chi, the comic. I just don't think it's somebody that has really had an impact that they thought it was going to have. I think it's pandering, and I think it's also China does not want anything to do with this film, if I remember correctly, because it might not even open there.
It is not scheduled for any China release at all right now. Right?
So, absolutely. And the same with the Eternals, if I remember correctly also. We're getting this pushback from, the MCU, from the Disney films from China, because they're just not bringing in the box office. So why would they bother opening if they're not going to make any money? And China was such a huge deal for Disney. They thought that it was going to be this huge market that they were going to be able to tap into, and it's kind of backfired on them.
Real quickly, let me take care of hold on, let me do this again. He says, "Hail Purple Valkyrie, hail Mexican Iron Man. Purple, your perfect queen's English is to die for.
Oh, thank you.
Hearts and your red hair." Someone's melting over there, over the seas. I think is he in Australia or New Zealand? I can't remember. And then he says, do you know where Rod's at?
I believe Rod's in Canada, if I'm correct.
Oh, Canada? I thought he was Australia. Well, I don't know where he is. Oh, yeah, Canadian $5. That's for a $5 Canadian. That's right. Mexican Iron Man, yes. Lord help us. And we have Lord. Let me say it like in my South Carolina voice. Lord help us. And this is for you, Rod Thunderheart. Yes.
Could I let Rod in on a little secret?
Sure.
Whenever I speak on camera or on a live stream, I have to really concentrate on what I'm saying, because I spoke how I normally speak when I'm not off camera. You would have a hard time following what I say. So it's received pronunciation that I use.
I don't believe that. So tonight, late tonight, why don't I call you on Discord and you can whisper in my ear and practice? Mexican Iron Man, not the hero we deserve. Unfortunately, he's the hero we get. And we have Daryl the Derelict coming in with a $5 super chat. Good morning, Mexican Iron Man and Purple Valkyrie. Hail Mexahala. Wait, what?
Good morning. Mexahala. I like that. That's pretty awesome.
If inside Valhalla, the Hall of Mexahala is where the Mexichlorian people are. You know, the ones with the Mexichlorian crowd. The tacos are mine, he says. Mine. All mine, says Daryl the Derelict. Well, I don't know about that. Let's make sure your credit card. Let's go ahead and hit that debit card for some virtual tacos. For $5, he keeps the fires burning, super strong and bright in all of Valhalla, not just the quarter. Mexahala would be like down the right at the end by the storage closet, I feel. Right?
Long live the fighters!
And right before we go back to the article, we have one more super chat coming in from here. I'll let you read this. Read this one.
Let's see. So we've got a $5 Canadian super chat from Rod Thunderheart. Thank you, honey. He says, "Hail to you too. Also, Aquafina has been accused of pretending to be black accented during her rap career. I don't know if she raps or cared."
And that one is for Rod Thunderheart. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, kind sir. Thank you very, 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 very much. Everybody's being super generous this morning. It says the film is predicted to have a bad opening weekend at the box office. According to box office tracking website Box Office Pro, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is on track to be the worst performer, predicted to earn 35 to 55 million its opening weekend. Now, on Midnight's Edge, After Dark Sunday show and yesterday, I predicted that it's going to do 22 to 32 domestically. I could be wrong. I'm gambling hugely because I could be wrong because it's a long weekend. But with the long weekend coming, I think that most families and people are going to do other stuff, not just go to the movies, because of what's happening globally, what's happening in the U.S. in terms of lockdowns. This is the last long weekend of the year. We're not going to get any more holidays till Thanksgiving and Christmas. And the sun's going to change in the first week of October. And so I think people have a lot of options this weekend, and I don't think going to see Shang-Chi is going to be in the top 3. What do you think?
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree. I think you're right. I think people are going to try and make the most of whatever free time that they have. And also, let's not forget that Shang-Chi is supposed to be having this 45-day window where it's just out in theaters before it's even on streaming. I think they were trying to push this idea to prove that, you know, it wouldn't make any difference whether it's released at the same time. But I still don't think it's going to have that much an impact.
It's going to be interesting to see. Now, are you going to see this movie?
No, it's not one that was on my radar. I've got to admit, it's not a character that I was really that interested in. I mean, I may see it down the line eventually when it's on, you know, some streaming service, but it's certainly not one that I would go out of my way to see, and it's not going to be one that I'll be reviewing either.
Yeah, I think I was going to see it because I'm on Team Midnight's Edge, and I thought we might review it. But Andre said that he's going to watch it late Wednesday or whatever. He's going to see it as soon as it comes out. So I'm just going to wait for his review, and I'm not going to spend the time or money. I just recently saw Protege, and I thoroughly loved it.
Oh, is it good? I've heard good things about it.
I love Protege. I liked it better than Free Guy. And of course, I liked the Suicide Squad more than I liked Free Guy. And this movie, so
yes.
I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to put in the last 3 movies that I've seen. It's interesting because there are no problems with Protege. I mean, it wasn't woke. It was fun. There were twists. There were turns. Some things were predictable, but it had action. It had everything, and it reminded me of how movies used to be. So I think I had a blast watching it. I mean, I really did. And the only reason I like the Suicide Squad more is because I'm just super into like shoot 'em up, superhero movies. But if I were to put them next to each other, the problems of Suicide Squad that movie had the Protege didn't have any of those movies. It was well edited, it was well done, it flowed, there weren't any weird hiccups, or it was great.
It's just nice to be able to sit down and actually enjoy a film again, isn't it, though? I was surprised with the Suicide Squad. I didn't have high expectations for it, but I went to the cinema and sat down and actually enjoyed it, and I was shocked at how poorly it was received in the end.
Me too. I felt the same exact way. Oh, it's daylight saving time doesn't happen until November? That's weird. Okay, I thought it was happening sooner than that. Maybe what do I know? I'm Mexican. Can I bank on that? No, I don't know. I don't know. I always fall back on that one. I don't know what it does for me because I'm really not that Mexican. I'm really more of a Southern genteel man, if you know what I mean. Purple.
I do indeed.
Oh my God! Look at your avatar.
Well, I thought it would be appropriate. I'll swap to the poison ivy for the day.
Here, hold on. Here's my eyes looking at your outfit.
I love that picture. It's one of my favorites.
Can you tell I'm checking you out? Is it obvious yet? Here's my right eye. Now here's my left eye. Now here's both eyes.
You keep playing with that, you're going to break it.
Well, maybe you should help me play with it so I don't break it. Oh, God. Welcome to Loki's Mornings of Mischief, where the train has gone off the rails, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Windology, says Purple and Mexican Iron Man.
Good morning, or good afternoon, rather. Sorry, sweetheart. Good to see you.
That would be spelled BEWBIEs.
Beeps.
Yeah. Yes, I just noticed. I was reading the article. You know me, Arwen. Mexican Iron Man is focused on the intellectual content that we bring and not checking out what Purple is virtually wearing.
He's right. Mexican Iron Man is the consummate professional. He doesn't get distracted easily.
Yeah, right. Okay, up for our next article. The symbolic world. You brought us another article from Bounding Comic. Wait a minute. Is this about He-Man?
This is about He-Man, yes.
Hold on. You know how I feel about the Netflix He-Man, Masters of the Universe, don't you?
I do. I was hesitant to bring this to you, but I thought you would like it.
All right, let me get ready. Go ahead and read it. Let me get ready, my love. I'm going to be here in the corner.
Okay. So
here, let me load the other one. Okay, go ahead.
Just in case. So this comes from, as we say, Bouncing into Comics, and it says the symbolic world host, Jonathan Peugeot, decries Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe revelation for perverting masculinity. Something that a lot of people have kind of picked up on having watched this show. So,
ooh.
The host of the symbolic world recently decried Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe for perverting masculinity. In the introduction to his video, Peugeot details what he will be addressing. He says it might seem a very strange thing to talk about, this kids show, but I think it's important to understand and to see one of the prime examples of a strategy that I've noticed in popular culture, which is, of course, using masculinity against itself. He goes on to elaborate, using the capacity the tendency men have to sacrifice themselves for the world in order then to use it as a trick to replace the masculine with the feminine. Now, you watched this show, didn't you? I know that you had very, very strong feelings about it, not just for what Kevin Smith did to the fans, but for what he did to the lore of Masters of the Universe.
You know, like I've said, my rants have been legendary on this topic, and I use that word lightly because I, despite my self-confidence, I've gotten a ton of feedback from all over the internet about my rants, and I didn't even mean to. I don't care about Kevin Smith. He was never a role model to me. So I don't care. I didn't sit there. I wasn't like, say, my good friend Tom Connors, who's looked up to him, and certainly Paulie talks about how Kevin Smith was a hero of the nerds and all that. I'm not brokenhearted because a guy that I thought, I mean, to me, I always thought he was a dweeb. And then I am kind of bummed out that he lied a little bit, but I kind of come to expect that. But what bothers me is they mess with the stories that I loved as a child, as a young kid, and that my young cousins did. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely hated what they did, and I ranted ridiculously on multiple channels. It didn't help Purple, because what happened is I stopped watching it by the 4th episode. Did I tell you the story yet, or no? Did I tell you what happened?
I don't think you did. No. What
happened? So I'm on Midnight's Edge, special show for He-Man. A special show. It's a Friday afternoon show. Andre invites me and a couple other people on, because he and I are like, the way actually I think the first topic he and I ever talked about was He-Man, and so he knows I'm a fan and I loved it and all that. So he brings me on. So he says, Mike, have you seen the 5th episode? And I'm like, Andre talks, right? And so I said, and by this time I've already recovered. I already had one rant and I recovered. I'm like back in professional Mexican Iron Man, optimistic, happy mode. And I say, no, Andre, I haven't seen the 5th one, because I started it and I only got 3 minutes in. And this is the truth. I started the 5th one. It already turned me off within 3 to 4 minutes. I threw my remote control in the air, like on The Last Jedi. It hit the sofa and I walked out of the freaking living room. I mean, that's exactly what happened, right? And so, so we're on the live stream. We're like an hour 2 or 3 of a 4.5 hour live stream. He says, Mike, why don't you go and watch it right now? And I'm like, well, because we're on a live stream, Andre. He says, we'll wait for you. Just go right now and we'll wait for you. We'll read some super chats while you come back. And I'm like, okay, you want me to go now? And meanwhile, I got Valiant Renegade and Tom saying, yeah, you can speed it up if you want to watch. I'm like, no, I got it right here. I'll be right back. And then I literally said like a little bunny rabbit, okay, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, see you later. Thinking like it was going to get better.
Uh-huh.
Like there was going to be some like, amazing ending. I come back with a loaded bottle. I come back with a highball, ice, and a bottle of, and the last little bit of my bottle of scotch poured in it, and just went off. And he comes back, Mike, now that you're back on the show, tell us, how do you feel?
So basically, he wound you up and then set you loose.
He lit me on fire, and then I went off like unbelievably crazy. Oh my God, it was absolutely. Well, the thing is that look at our girl Tila.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
God, Tila doesn't miss an arm day to save her life, huh?
No, or Evil Lynn, who I will preface it and say I thought was actually one of the better acted characters in this one. I've heard tell that season 2 is going to be Evil Lynn centric. So again, we've got this female lead. I was like, oh God.
Who mourns for Orko?
Nobody, unfortunately.
All right. Your virtual boy, Rod Thunderheart, has another Canadian $5 super chat. Take a read of that, my lady.
Big thank you to Rod Thunderheart again. Thank you, honey. He says, hail you two. Oh, sorry to hear. No weekends till Thanksgiving. Canadians have a long weekend once a month, year round. Christmas with Boxing Day extra long. Yet we have the Boxing Day as well as a day off as well.
Rod Thunderheart.
was pretty much how Mexican Iron Man when he came back to the stream was.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly how I was. That is exactly how I was. I was like this. I was like, "Ah!" Oh no! No!
So could I ask you, obviously, as a fan, you've been a fan for pretty much as long as you can remember. Clearly, you love the lore, you love the characters. Do you think that they have basically perverted masculinity in this in favor of putting forward females, but females that have masculine traits?
Well, I mean, yeah, because I caught that in the first episode. I'm not letting my kid watch this. I can control anything my kid watches pretty much. I'm not letting him watch any of this crap. And I think there's a disservice. One of the things that I mentioned this on the chat stream the other day. When the Romans conquered various tribes or various nations, one of the things they did besides slaughter all the warriors is they made sure that the next generation of boys, if they were, they wouldn't necessarily kill all the boys, but they would make sure that they would be raised by single mothers.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is that it was well known in ancient times that single women did not raise warrior men. And so it was a way to keep and suppress, suppress people down. But just like women need great women role models to be great women, men need great male models in order to be great men. And, I was unbelievably purple. I did not have the confidence that I have today. I had to build that over time. And I was a very insecure kid. When I became a fan of He-Man, I was the only Mexican kid in my apartment complex, the only one in my school. We had moved to the cheapest apartment we could get. My mom moved us to the cheapest. And I remember she had to talk with us. She says, look, we're moving to the nicest area we can barely afford to be in. And times were tight. She wanted me to be in a good kindergarten and in a good elementary school. Mm-hmm. Now, that didn't last very long because we then moved to a very shitty neighborhood in East San Jose. But He-Man is how I learned race relations, because it was playing with the action figures every day after school. Like I'm going to get emotional right now. It was playing with these action. None of us had all the action figures, but every one of us had a couple of them, right? And and we would. Fuck! I'm getting choked up all of a sudden. I don't know why. Okay, and we every day after 3:30, after we got out of school around 3:30, we would meet up. And there was in the apartment complex this like big palm tree and this big mound of dirt, and that was our Skull Mountain. And we could cut the dirt out and shape it and stuff like that. Of course, I probably should have buried some of my figures. I think there still might be some back there. I was in San Jose once a while back, and in this part of town, and I was like, I wonder if anyone would say something. Middle-aged guy gets out of his truck and starts digging up palm trees and rocks in the middle of an apartment complex. I'm like, I'll just leave them there. But this is how I made my first friends, and I think it's why to this day. Mm-hmm. When I see my white friends, male and female, when I see all my white friends getting attacked on the internet for being ist and that and phobes and that, I have a huge defensive reaction because white folks, they've been nothing but good to me and made me feel welcome and great. And I was an insecure little Mexican kid, and I was a nerd, and I was by myself. I liked to read a lot, and I didn't have a lot of social skills, and He-Man was what built the bridges that brought my personality out and gave me lifelong friends. In fact, this is funny. I just realized this now. Eddie, my childhood friend, who he and I didn't get along, but then we got along after the He-Man stuff. He was a redhead. Eddie was really? Eddie had redhead, and I don't know if that has anything to do with why I always hit on you, but but Eddie and I, it's funny because we were friends for a lot of years, and he and I would chase. There was two girls, Zanti and our other friend, I can't remember, but we would chase them around the playground. They would chase us, and we would like pretend like He-Man and Skeletor were chasing them, and the girls would play in, and it was a great thing. The girls had Evil Lynn and Tila. It was just great, and I miss those days. And so when I see what happened with Netflix, I didn't expect. I expected to lose my mind over Star Trek and Star Wars Purple.
Yes.
But I didn't expect to lose my mind over He-Man, and for somehow they triggered a little 8-9-year-old kid in me, and I just, man, I lost it, and I'm still upset about it. I don't really want to watch the rest of it if and when and how it comes out, because I don't even want to go there again, because it really messed me up. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Well, I think you've hit the nail on the head, and this is why people felt so strongly about it. It wasn't so much what Kevin Smith did, although he's turned out to be a very fake person. It's they banked on the nostalgia of the original fans. They pushed the idea that this was going to be an homage to something that we loved. And I've heard all the criticisms saying the cartoon was nothing but a commercial to sell toys, but it was so much more than that. If you watch the original 80s cartoon, it gave you morals, it gave kids stories that they could understand and things that they could take away from it. That was one of the things that a lot of the 80s cartoons did. Every time that the episode ended, you got a little kind of sequence at the end, teaching them a lesson or giving them advice how to deal with situations, but they never talked down to them. And as you say, having these toys, having the ability to kind of get together as a group, even if you didn't have all of them, somebody had one figure, somebody had another, somebody had the play set, you could all get together and reenact these stories.
Yes. As Chris Perza observes, Kevin Smith decided to give masculine traits to the female characters. Teela didn't need to be physically strong. She'd use the enemy's weight against them and strike at weak points.
She did. She was always been a capable warrior. She didn't need to be bulked up and pushed to the front. Adam didn't need to be basically demasculated and then killed off.
Right. You know what? I'd let you be. If you wanted to play a warrior, I would let you find my weak points. Arwen comments that seeing Teela makes me want to run screaming to the nearest beauty salon to look weak. Oh, you got to read that. I can't do it.
Seeing Teela makes me want to run screaming to the nearest beauty salon to avoid looking like that. Amen to that, Arwen.
Oh my God. Mark's on fire in the chat. He is just hitting me from every angle. That's why I keep getting distracted. Punk Waddle, it comes with tortilla, avocado, and Takata chip marshmallows as well. He is just on fire this morning. Mark gets really tired. I'm getting hit left and right over here, but it's fun. It's fun. Kendra says to Luis Ferro, hey, I used to watch He-Man in the very late 80s at my next door neighbor Christina's house. Aww.
And I think that's one of the things that the ladies are talking about in the chat as well. This wasn't a cartoon for boys. Girls loved it also. We love She-Ra as well. But there was something about He-Man that just, grabbed the attention of girls too. I've had all the toys. I've still got the toys. I've actually bought a lot of the retro line that they re-released because they look so good and look so
Now, are you getting the retro one or the Origins one? Or which one is it?
I've got the retro one, the ones that are basically look very much like the 80s toys, the ones in the blister packs.
Oh, I heard those look great.
They do. They look awesome. I haven't bought anything from Revelation though, even though I did like the look of Battle Cat, I've got to admit.
Yeah.
But I've refrained.
Well, I'm willing to play Battle Cat. You know what I mean? If you want to ride me into battle type of thing.
Oh my God.
Okay. Almost every 80 cartoon was a 30-minute toy commercial, but they had good writing. Otherwise, they wouldn't sell toys. Yeah, that's true. Ironcaster observes that all these betrayals dudes want me to buy the original and turn my nose up at the new. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, Ironcaster.
Yes.
And let's see. There's one other one that I wanted to grab. Punk Waddle, 80s cartoons were great for the PSA and morals and teaching them adult concepts. 2010 and up cartoons are deconstructing societal concepts as if that will help us get along. And it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Well said.
Yeah, it just doesn't. And then earlier, Chris Perz asked the question, why is Teela more buff than Dalton Lundgren when he was He-Man in the live action? When he was He-Man in the live action adaptation. I don't know, Chris. We don't know why Teela is more buff than Dolph Lundgren. These are the issues. These are the questions that that remain
Oh.
they remain unanswered, right?
Oh my gosh, did you see the picture that somebody did where they basically took away the makeup from Tila and it was basically a guy look underneath?
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
It was funny.
All right. Well, what have you got coming up? What's going on with your channel? What do we have to look forward to? Today's Wednesday. So what's going on in the next few days with you?
It is absolutely, and just to say a big thank you. I think we've got a couple more super chats that have.
Oh, we do. Oh, you're right. Sorry, I've been missing these. I'm so sorry. I apologize, everybody. Let me take care of this. Oh, DJ Ronnie G. If I missed any, let me know, Purple. Yeah, let me go back up all the way up to the top. This thing just jumped on me.
Yes, it keeps skipping, doesn't it? I think we've got one from DJ Ronnie G and another one from Rod Thunderheart. So big thank you, guys.
All right, let me nail this one here. So from DJ Ronnie G, he says, go ahead, read it.
He says, I'm still upset that JJ destroyed Planet Vulcan and that this change was retained in the Picard show.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
That was such a stupid decision.
Oh, that was so awful. Oh my God, that's such a good point. I just didn't get the point of that at all.
No, it is again, it's rewriting history, and I think that people, are so stupid that we will forget what actually is the real timeline.
And this goal is for DJ Ronnie G, who is going to show some reparations to what JJ did by unleashing the DJ Ronnie G fire.
Love that one.
And read this one.
A big thank you again, Rod Thunderheart. He sends us a $5 Canadian. He says, I don't know, Purple Valkyrie. I think you still sound with a Cockney accent. Yes, love the lessons they taught at the end of each episode. Thank you, honey. Technically, what I have is what's called a Brummie accent because I'm from the Midlands.
I don't know if I like the sound of this Cockney accent. I don't know what that means, but I don't know about that, Rod Thunderheart. I'm just kidding. I love you, brother. And for Rod, hold on. And another skull for Rod Thunderheart. Yeah. That's so good. And look what he got from Nerdporial Lifeform. A $2 super sticker.
Thank you, Nerdporial Lifeform.
All right, let's get him something too. Let's get him a little skull to get the day going here. We're going to get you something special. Oh, yeah. This one is just for you. All of you guys keep the fires burning super strong in the mountain that is known as Valhalla. All right, Purple, what can we look forward to again in terms of your shows again?
Yep, massive thank you for letting me join you today. It was an absolute treat. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. I'm on in a little bit, and what I thought I'd do today is a little bit more of a relaxed, fun show. So we're going to be talking video games, the best franchises, the greatest characters, why we love them, why we have fun with them. We're going to have a nice, light-hearted show today.
And that's in 1 hour from now, is that right?
Indeed it is.
All right. And then you're going to have the next show after that is going to be Friday, the weekend. What do we have to look forward to?
Yep, the next show will be Friday, and I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to do. It's probably what I'm going to do is a show that I've been planning for a little while now, and I'm going to talk about the Twilight Zone. So I'm going to list the best episodes, why it was such a fantastic show, and why I would still recommend it to everybody.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us this morning. We've had a fantabulous time here for the last hour entertaining you. Thank you. Have a great day. Those of you fighting the consequences of the storm, our hearts out to you. Pat S., my brother, shout out to you. Valiant Renegade, Clobby, and everybody else that is in the region. Larry, hope you're doing okay. Anybody and everybody, our prayers, our thoughts are with you, and Valhalla stands together and beside you. Well, bye everybody, and bye my Lady Purple, and thank you for being the most amazing guest host, co-host ever.
Thank you, Mexican Iron Man, our hero as always.
Well, not the hero you probably deserve, but I'm the one that's gonna find you. Find you all. See you tomorrow morning, and have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.